Welcome to It's Not That Deep, the place where we discover how deep life's issues really are. I'm your host, Rukeme, who shuffles living between Lagos and Abuja, and as a very opinionated law student, each week I dive into topics, decisions that affect being a young searching Gen Z in Nigeria. Come join me for a fun, informative, entertaining ride. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's explore, learn, laugh on It's Not That Deep. This season of my life, and as the total authoritarian of this podcast, I think almost everything will have to relate to me. I'm not to sound narcissistic, but this season, I'll be delving into identity, and because of that, in response to last episode's topic, this episode would be also talking about identity, and the title of the episode will be The Pressure to Conform. 1 Samuel 9:21. And Saul replied, "But I am only from the tribe of Benjamin, the smallest tribe in Israel, and my family is the least important of all families of that tribe. Why are you talking to me like this?" The first story would be on a woman. I think I really deal with a lot of female stories. Anyways, let's just dive right into it. The first story is going to be... Okay, I've already said what the first story is going to be on. Sorry. I beg your pardon. Let me just go straight into it. I'm a 21-year-old woman with a passion for art and design. Since I'm a child, I have dreamt of becoming a successful graphic designer. I graduated from a prestigious design school, and I have been working in the field for a few years now. However, my family has always had different expectations for me. They come from a more traditional background and have always hoped I would pursue a stable career in medicine or engineering. Recently, my family has become more vocal about their disappointment in my career choice. They believe that a career in art isn't as secure or respectable as a traditional profession. They even suggested that I go back to school to study something more practical. I'm deeply passionate about my work and have managed to establish a decent career for myself, but constant pressure is weighing in on me. I'm torn between following my dreams and fulfilling my family's expectations. On one hand, I want to stay true to my passion and continue building my career in design. On the other hand, I don't want to disappoint or distance myself from my family, especially since their approval means a lot to me. The reason why I really love this story, because anytime we talk about conforming to pressure in like the African society, is always relating to friends or social media or what is just around us. We never really talk about family and how families, even though sometimes they do love us, they actually pressure us a lot of the times. And it is really sad to say, because a lot of the times the pressure these people give is not because they do not like you or because they wish bad for you. Mind you, they are really horrible family members, don't get me wrong, but all things being equal, I think family members who have good thoughts and good intention towards you also pressure you, and sometimes it can be exhausting, it can be alarming, it can be disgusting too. Like sometimes it can be taken to the extreme. But with Opie in this situation, Opie has a dream. She has a path for herself. She has chosen what she wants to do. She's really, and that's one thing that's such a privilege from my own point of view. Having the opportunity to choose something, because what they call the name, people just pick anything just because they have to survive. So Opie has the privilege of picking design, and honestly speaking, let's be frank, design is not really a straightforward profession. A lot of people get into it and make it big and do very well, but a lot of people do get to it and fail woefully and always remain struggling artists, and they become depressed and seems unfair. And I get the idea because I'm studying law, and law pretty typically is a professional course and it seems really stable. In all honesty, most average people who do law just do that, they remain average. But the average in law is not the average in life. So a lot of people's parents who force them to study it have that intention or that mindset when trying to convince their children that, oh, do this professional. Same thing with medicine. A lot of professional courses, accounting. The idea is that if you end up being average in this thing, you would be able to survive and live a typical life. But if you end up being average in design, you would most likely not survive. Like, if you get my point. So OP's family members, it can come from two places. It can be coming from a place of, oh, we just have this societal expectation. I want a child that is a doctor, or I want a child that is an engineer. But sometimes this statement, not to bash our parents, that's what I'm trying to establish. I'm not bashing anybody, because I want to hope and see this story from a good intention from both sides. However, OP is struggling with approval. When you make a decision, that's one thing I'm trying to learn or pick up. Whatever decision I make, I should own up to it and beat it with my chest. She has chosen design and she's doing very well, like she said, which is something to be proud of. She should be proud of herself. She's really young. She's 27. 27 in hindsight, compared to like an 18-year-old who is just fresh out of college, is not old. But 27 is, so it's pretty young. Compared to an 18-year-old out of college, the person is quite old. That's like a 9-year gap. But in context to the lifespan that is expected, the person is still pretty young. She still has a whole lot of life ahead of her. And picking to study professional courses at such an early age, you have to do it because you love it. I would hate to hear that somebody, because doing it when you're young, note mind you, is a lot. It takes a lot to do that, because it drains. Going to school for anything, mind you, takes a lot out of a person. So if you are, according to relative standard in the school system, pretty middle aged, because that's what 27 is, and starting a fresh course, like a fresh professional course like medicine or engineering, will take you at least 6, 7, 8 years. And if you're 27 now, let's say by the time you apply and get in, you're 28, spend the next 8 years of your life doing something you would not want to do or practice. You've passed the age where, this is just my own fresh opinion, I don't think is generally applicable to everybody, but you've passed the age where you've been given a lot of room to make mistakes. Because by the time you come out of school, you could be 30. That's given if it's 8 years. No, mind you, sometimes it takes 10 years. So if you come out of school, you should be, let's say, 34, 30, 36, and it would be such a sad life to be 36 and still be looking or weighing in on people's expectations. There was an article I saw once that says that when you think about when you get to your midlife, like when you get to 40, 50, you get to not actually give a shit about what people think. You get not to mind about what people think, and it will not be nice for you to be in your midlife and the 8 years or the 6 years that you could have invested in your design career that seems to be going really well for you, you ended up putting it in something you hate, that you might even fail. Because a lot of people fail in these things, but because of determinations, they still put efforts to make sure to struggle and pass. And I'm not saying you fail, don't get me wrong, but make sure to try your possible best to just be happy. That's one. Stick to your guts. If you know you're already successful at what you do, meaning like your career, if you went to a good design school, let's say design school takes 3-4 years and you started when you're 18, so you've had 5 good years in this career space. you're already building up to a decade. Invest yourself more. The thing I also realized about parents, if what I had established at the beginning of the story, if their intention is, oh, they want you to do well, when they see you're being successful at what you're doing, prove them wrong with success. They would actually come around. Like, you hear a lot of people that Indian stories where, oh, they are into entertainment and their parents were so shocked about it, but later on they came around because, oh, they started doing well. I think Tobenigwe in the barber shop was talking about how his mother was really so stunned about him wanting to do music, but when he went on the Steve Harvey show, she realized that, oh, my son is successful, and she came around and ended up liking it. So that's what I would advise, that you should stick to your guts, make sure to pull off success, and your parents come around if their intentions towards you are good. Yes, so then, yeah, I just wish you the very best, OP. On our second story, we're going to be talking about a 34-year-old. A 34-year-old working in corporate environments where the culture is very competitive and often cutthroat. My personal values emphasizes collaboration, integrity, and a work-life balance. While I have managed to perform well in my role, I have noticed that the office environment often regards aggressive behavior and long hours, which clashes with my personal principles. Recently, I was offered a promotion that comes with more responsibility, but also involves increased expectations for overtime and a more aggressive approach to achieving targets. While the promotion is a significant career achievement, it conflicts with my values of maintaining a healthy work-life balance and fostering a supportive work environment. I am struggling with whether to accept the promotion and adapt to the office culture, which would likely mean compromising some of my personal values, or to decline the offer and stay in my current role, where I feel more aligned with my values but may miss out on career growth. OP, honestly speaking, you are really privileged, because I think it takes a really privileged person to talk about healthy work-life balance, fostering supportive work environment. And to be honest, I also relate to you 100%. Like, I remember the first time I started doing law and I was like, this is the way people are behaving in this place. This is not the way I am. Like, this is not the way my values are. I don't want to be in school or be in the office from morning till late in the night. I did an internship one time, and my boss, or the principal of the main managing partner of the firm at the time, worked so hard. Like, he was such a hard worker, and because of how much of a hard worker he was, he also expected the same thing from every of his other staffs. And this man we were interns. Like, intern in Nigeria is like really a lax term compared to, let's say, the US and other parts of the world. Like, you go there, it's like workmanship. Like, you go there, you learn hands-based stuff, and you really are not expected to put in the same hours as normal working staff, because sometimes they don't even pay you. But this particular firm, interns work till 6:30. That was our closing time. Like, I knew people in a lot of other top tier firms that worked till their closing time was 4 p.m. But us, we worked till 6:30. And 6:30 p.m., by 6:30 p.m., you still have to go and meet the partner. He would ask you what you've done for the day, whether if you fulfilled your responsibilities, and till he approves you're going, you're not allowed to go. So I remember that I was closing, some days I closed like 7 o'clock, 7:30 p.m. And it was the ironic thing is, you could not be so upset because the next day you have to be in work before 8. But the partner, the partner leaves after you. And note, mind you, he plays as hard as he works. So let's say if he's leaving the office by 11, he's going out to spend like personal time somewhere in a lounge or in a bar or something. Maybe he's getting home by 2 a.m. And he would get to work before us. Like, I was so taken aback. Like, he would get to work so early in the morning, and I'm like, hey, like, it was so mind-boggling, to be honest, like. And not that I don't think I was ever late. Maybe I was late once or twice, but like, I was generally never really late. But this man worked so hard, and when I saw that, I found, I was really impressed. I wasn't going to lie. It made me want to push more, but I never in my life want to work that hard. I never in my life want to devote my life. I don't think I'm so in love with law that I work from 6 in the morning till 12 in the midnight. That's how, like, it's so many hours to give to something like that. Is not family. It's rewarding, don't get me wrong, but you seem like you have more love for relationships. You really, really value your relationships. You really value your personal time. You want to go out more. You want to enjoy life more. You want to, this thing I used to say, I was like, life is not made for working. And no, it's a privileged statement, I'm not going to lie, because what do you call him, somebody that is not privileged will just think about working all the time, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, oh, it's only privileged people, underprivileged people that think about working all the time. Don't get me wrong, some people actually derive joy in working, but like, it seems like you're like myself. You want to work, like, you want to really, really do work, but you don't want to spend your whole life working and not having enough time to enjoy what you have worked for. And that is maintaining a healthy work-life balance. And I think you have to be so good enough if you're in a space that is so aggressive and they promote and reward extra time and extra effort and all those stuff, and you still got offered the promotion. So my own advice to you is, look at your values. What does your value actually say? Are you really, really willing to give up work life, like your professional ethics or your professional advancement, for your family relationships? Because mind you, to maintain this family relationship, you need professional advancement, you need professional privilege, you need to be able to be so good at your job that they won't want to drop you. So you have to put that into perspective. However, are you at a point in your life where you can actually make that decision without actually feeling bitter about yourself, or feeling bitter with like what you had a couple of years ago? Or is it a type of promotion that, oh, the time or the season of your life is not just allowing you to enjoy, it's not just allowing you to prioritize your profession, and in a couple of years you seem that, oh, okay, you would actually want to prioritize your profession and move more forward? And would that be able, this promotion, will you be able to extend it to a couple of years? Those are the type of options you're meant to look at and pick from. But like, I don't think it's really that deep. If you are really good at your job, I think you can still take your, because it seems like you have always maintained a healthy work-life balance and you got a promotion. So if you can do that, I think you can also do it. Things will have to change, but you might also be able to do it when you accept the promotion too. So yeah. The literature for this episode is The Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I think Chimamanda needs no introduction, to be honest. Like, she's who she is. And this episode, we're going to be spotlighting Kambili's journey of self-discovery. Kambili, to be honest, I really don't want to go a lot into this because I love Chimamanda. Like, she was a pivotal part of my beginning journey, of my feminist journey. I'm not longer feminist, or I think I'm still feminist. Because feminism now seems like a spectrum thing. I'm low on the spectrum of feminism, because I will not completely say I'm not feminist, because I believe that we need to strive for the equality of women's rights. And mostly in the place I live in Africa, we still have a really, really long way to equity once it comes to females' rights. But the story, The Purple Hibiscus, is not one I'm really in love with, in all honesty, but it's such a beautiful story, don't get me wrong. That's why I selected it, by the way. That's not obvious. In Nigeria, when I was in SS2, that is grade 10 or grade 9, any of the two, I can't remember. I think the set before my set, they were made to read The Purple Hibiscus. It was a compulsory literature text to be read, and it's so unfortunate that Nigeria has Africa generally has excuse me, oh my god, as it's so unfortunate that Africa has a track record of very sad endings. But I don't believe Camberley's journey was a sad ending. She did not have a fulfilling ending that would say was romantic. She didn't have a romanticized ending, which is really popular with African literature. However, Camberley had to strive from being the daughter of an abusive man. She had to strive to build her own style, her own life, have to come out of such a space. Because her father he lived a paradoxical life. He was such a religious man. He was a stringent Catholic, and they did everything religiously. However, he was such a big sinner. Like, it was so, and I think it's such a testament to African lifestyles, because we in Africa were really religious, whether it's Islamic, Christianity, or traditional worship. Everything we pick to worship, we are devoted to it. However, we're not so devoted that those religious, we're just used to religion. We like the idea of going somewhere every morning to pray, or going somewhere every Sunday or every Friday. We like ritual. Yeah, that's it. We like ritual. And Camberley came from a ritual life. Her family had a way of life that they were already used to. They were already carved to. And if you read The Popular Hibiscus, which I would advise everybody to read, even if I'm not such a fan, but if you read The Popular Hibiscus, you will see how Camberley strived for more than herself. It was just more than I'm saying more than herself, more than her family, more than what her mother was, or more than what her father was. Trying to know herself, because she was so young in the book. I can't remember how old she was, but like, she was really young, and the story builds her as a round character, so you could see the changes. And I don't want to give spoilers, because I'm trying to learn how not to give spoilers. So go and read the book. I think every one of us will be able to learn from Camberley's story. And yes, that's the wrap for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, today's stories, the dilemmas, and remember, it's okay to be torn between different worlds and identities. Just be sure of yourself, enjoy the journey. It is never about the destination, it's always about the journey. And pick what really matters to you. Know your values, know thyself, like Odumodu will say, know thyself. If you like what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. If you talk to me or chat to me on Apple Podcast, Spotify, I would make sure to reply to your post or to your conversations. Your feedback help keep the conversation going and brings more people into this community. It would really be appreciated. It just takes a click, like just click him, that's it. And if you have a story to share or a dilemma you would love to share, connect with me on all my socials. I'll leave all the links in the description box, or you can send me an email at itsnotthatdeep.rukeme@gmail.com. It's not that deep.rukeme@gmail.com. It's not that deep. itsnotthatdeep.rukeme@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, life's a journey, not a destination. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and you might just see that it's really not that deep.